Okay, welcome back to the Ryan Marsh Gallery. Today, working with my molds. These are molds I've made over the years based on my own sculpture designs. Now my wife and I, and sometimes my little girl, we finish up these designs one of a kind every time. Right now we have the 60th Celtic chess set ordered. Now it took me about 6 months, of course, to design that set, but I made my molds. I have beautiful mold. This is the big mold we'll be pulling. I cast this earlier. Still a little warm, but I think it's ready to come out. I cast a plug as an inset in these so that I'm not just like filling it full and making it so heavy you can't ship or sit on a small table. Anyway, I pull the plug there. I always like this moment when the set is kind of born. It's real soft right here. I can go ahead and pull it though. There we go. Now, there's a chunk of molding material here. It's a PMC 120/130 from the Smooth On Company. Now I've flipped it over, put a little pressure in the corner. That de-suction, you can feel it. And then it'll come right out of there. There we go. Now look at this. See that? That nut work initially took me 40 hours to carve in, but then this is a nice mold, so I get a great facsimile. Let's look at number 60 out of these boards of cast. I don't like to touch it too much on top because oils at this stage will affect the finish. Bring it over. There we go. And see, I purposely carved in cracks into the original design, and when it finishes up, looks like a stone board. You'll see underside and the top. Well, I'll clean that up. Number 60 exists. Alright. Let's set this over here, and since you've joined me, let's go ahead and pull a few of these others. I cast all the pawns. We're going to wait for a second on them. Let them set in the mold just a little bit more and harden. But I think we've got a few things here. I started doing my sculpture, making molds and casting that sculpture back in 1994-95, and many designs over the years. So some of these molds are super old and they need work coming out. The castings themselves are nowhere near as close to the sculpture I put them in there as, but you'll see this little winking Aztec sun here. He's a sweetheart. There's a little bit of work I'll have to come back and clean tool off, and then it hangs on the wall. All right. Now that probably was 99 to 2000. I don't think I dated this one. Let's put my spiral on it. That's my signature. All right, and on that note then, let's jump to something I just sculpted. This was a fun little sculpture and a new mold I made using a recipe for mold making I found on YouTube. The mold's holding up just as good. I love it. Ah, there it is. Little bear roundel. So this is a new sculpture. Comes out really neat, one of a kind painting. You can see little imperfections on it. Here we have scarabs that I took from our Egyptian chess set. I just make the scarabs alone. Sometimes we make them in epoxy. Many scarabs made from that mold. A new sculpture I did. My wife, her father's name is Emmett. He wears a nice beard. And so I sculpted a winking Emmett. And he's a little facsimile of a leaf with the bearded personality in his wink. So, just born there out of the mold. We're working on a clock project, making an old mantle clock box. It doesn't have the works in it, turning it into more of a modern clock. Roxy's made a beautiful epoxy dial, but instead of numbers it has the zodiac symbols. We're going to use that on that old mantle clock box, and to the left and the right, these figures that I'm about to pull from the mold are going to be there, and they're called the Moody Moons. The Moody Moon originated from the eclipse sculpture, the crying moon that's comforted by the sun. This poor Moody Moon, again, is an old mold that we retool and get going. But much like George Méliès' voyage to the moon in the late 1800s, I was really inspired by that moon that gets his eye whacked by the projectile with 6 men in it. Anyway, here's the crying moon. And so there's the sad moon, kind of the comedy tragedy. This is the tragedy. And then we have, I felt like he needed to be happy. So I have the Moody Moon that's smiling. I love this guy. It's like Don Lovitz. Anyway, these guys will go right on the left and right of the dial. I can't wait to show you that video. But I'm not going to bore you anymore. We have all the pawns, all 16 pawns over here. Maybe I'll get one out for you. Of number 60. One of the more efficient mold sets that we've made over the years was the Celtic mold set. So I can usually turn this set over in about 30 days. During that time, probably put about 30 hours into it. This is a great example of the Celtic set pawn. Now what I'm casting in is a U.S. gypsum product. That product is called Hydrocal or Hydrostone. And Hydrostone is a gypsum cement. Me and dental labs use it, other folks like that. But here it goes. Turns out to feel like stone and stain up to look like stone. So that's one of the reasons I use it. Plus it's a dust mask when I'm casting, and good ventilation, and I don't fumigate the shop. Anyway, we'll come back and see this Celtic set just a little bit later, but I just wanted you to see behind the scenes at the Ryan Marsh Gallery. Come see us.